Welcome to the Trading Lounge. I would love to share with you the trades I made today on my journey to 100K, where I try to take this small account to $100,000 as fast as possible as a rookie day trader. I started this journey in December. We are now 4 months or so into it, and while we are green overall on the account, I am red again today for what we would call a max loss day, which would make that 2 this week. Just made some mistakes, and we're going to go over those here, and hopefully someone can learn from those. But as you can tell, I'm in good spirits. Like, I'm not that worried about it, but we do have to kind of throttle back and be a little bit more conservative and play to my strengths. Today was just not a great move. The 2 stocks I traded today, which you can find up here, are AUUD, and CPIX. I'm down $252 on AUUD. We're going to go over that. And I'm up $72 on CPIX. Now, I almost stopped after AUUD, which is kind of what almost happened a couple days ago, where I'm definitely beyond my max loss. I'm at my max loss, and I should, walk away. But I'm like, let's just stick it out and see if we can find something, and ended up finding something. But it could easily went the other way, and the conversation could be totally different right now. We could be like, well, I overtraded and I'm down $350, right? So lucky to be afloat, I think. But here's the scanner that I was using today. I've been using this scanner for a while. This is called a Charts Watcher. If you come from Day Trade Dash or Warrior Trader, this scanner is similar, but and in my mind, actually, dare I say, better. I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings over there because those loyal fans over there. I'm a fan too. I love Ross's work. That his style of trading is how I'm trying to trade on this account. I've learned a lot through his YouTube channel and talking with people over there, and really have I'm searching for low float stocks that are running off breaking news, scalping base hits, which I haven't done very well as of lately, but we're learning, we're growing, and here we are. So happy to be green overall on the account, starting from back in December, using only the strategies that I learned from Ross Cameron's like YouTube video in his book. So YouTube videos in his book. Anyway, this scanner is it's good. It's really, really good. It's got you've got your small cap top gainers, your running up scanner, your high day momentum scanner, your quotes, and your news. And both these stocks hit these scanners today. Now, when I got onto my computer this morning at about 3 o'clock in the morning, West Coast time, right around there, AUUD was already on the scanner, I think around that time. It might have been a little bit before. I can't remember. But it was already on my scanner when I took a look. And I decided that I was going to do something I shouldn't do, which was trade the stock right at 4 a.m. If I saw momentum. I saw momentum. I didn't trade it right. And I should stop trading right at 4 a.m. because my success rate doing this in the colder small cap market has gone down dramatically compared to what it was like in December and January. There's no reason to do it. And I'm not great at continuation trades. I know that about myself. I'm much better at like breaking news where I can kind of predict there's going to be some volatility in a direction. I might not be able to, I can't predict when it's going to necessarily come down, have some indicators, but like at least I can tell like this thing's going to be popping up. It's going to be doing something, has a reason to go up. I struggle with continuation because I'm not good enough yet to understand certain things, like certain metrics to when a stock's going to actually go up and down. Like I understand break of VWAP and EMAs, but like I just feel like there's a lot I don't know to where I feel uncomfortable without that breaking news pop, like run up, run right back down, So anyway, this is kind of like my promise to YouTube and myself to not trade right at 4 a.m. unless there's breaking news, like right away, like breaking news right at that time, and then it makes sense for me. But continuation, I think I'm done with that, folks. I think I'm done with it. So here's what it looked like today, and I'm going to show you kind of why I got in this. So we're gonna go to 7 o'clock. Where are you? 7 o'clock, right in here somewhere. Is this the 1 minute chart? Yeah. 7 a.m. Is this right? Yeah, this is right. Oh, yeah, right here. Yeah. Not happy. So we're in this zone right here, okay? And I cleared them off. So Chart Watchers just had a big update yesterday or this morning with their charting system. And a few other things, but mainly the charting system. Now the charts are actually slightly faster, and I'll show you a video of that, than Dash Trader, which is kind of cool. Not by much, but enough to where like, hey, like I would love to have that advantage. And there's a few other things they changed as well. Like you can create a line. I'm not set up that way because I don't like it, but you can, once you create a line here, it'll automatically copy it to your charts. And there's a few other things they did that I really like about the updates they did with these charts. And and then they added the VWAP is now working across all of the time zone or all of the time frames, which is kind of nice. And just a few other things that I'm like kind of noticing that I love. So I went through and redid all my charts. But you know what? I'll show you the chart video now. Let me show you hold on. So I'll get back to the chart video thing because I want to talk about this, just where we're at right now. So this right here is the time, this candle right here is the 7 o'clock time frame candle. As you can see, it opened at whatever time this is, or whatever price that is. We'll look at it. It opened at 773 and the high was 861. I mean, it went up almost $1. So how did I not make money on this? Right? I'm going to tell you why. So typically what I would do is I would see that this right before 4 o'clock, I'd see this little, these are not great candles, by the way. I'm not going to try to even play, but there's a little pullback here, right in here. And then this opens and it goes above this candle, which would be my entry point. And I see the volume. I see this happening. However, and that's where I would typically get in. However, I didn't get in until this red candle. And the reason why is because what I was thinking, I took all the lines off my chart. By the way, I forget his name, but someone recommended like changing adding the horizontal line to my, like I added it as a shortcut, and then now I have this magnetized so it snaps to my charts a lot better. I actually really love this. So I just click this and I have a magnet so it just goes with me wherever I go. So I marked off a bunch of stuff in here, but the main ones for the purpose of this is this level right here and this level, wait, hold on, let me grab where to go. This level right here. So my thought here was that if the stock could go over, again, this is after I'd been watching it like already. So like it had already broken a few of my zones. I'm like, okay, if this thing goes over 870, 847, it's got a nice gap up to 10. I'm not going to call it a gap. It has room up to, at least this is how I think. I could be wrong. It has room up to 1043. So I waited. I didn't get in right here when it was running up, which is what I would typically do. I waited until this candle, this won't surprise anyone who's been following me for a while now. Well, this candle opened and it came, I don't know, I think it shot up and it goes right above and it just, it passes, the zone I'm looking at. So it passes 850, goes over 847. I enter in, it rejects right back down. And right after I reject down, I'm not kidding you, I think it was in the same candle, either this candle or this candle, my charts froze. Now, the charts freezing are not why I lost $252 on the stock. Because I know that when something like that happens, the best thing for me is just get out of the trade. But also, once I'm in a trade, I don't really rely on my chart. So I immediately started, once I was like, what is going on? We're frozen, not really sure. And like I've been working on putting in all my lines. And there was a little bit of like being uncomfortable. I'm in, $1,500 or whatever it was. And it's a higher price stock, which is something I'm not supposed to be doing. But after missing one yesterday, I'm like, let me get one in today. And so I'm one of those people that, that had FOMO from yesterday and got into something today. I don't know, it's crazy how this works. But I had plenty of times to get out. You can see this thing curls, it comes down, and it curls back up here to a spot, and so I had an opportunity. I got out. I was in this thing for a very long time. So you can see I got in at 7:01. I got out at 7:37. That's the longest I've been in a trade in a long time. I don't know how long my charts were down, but when my charts came back up, I don't remember what position I was in. Obviously somewhere in this zone, And I'm like, this thing's holding up okay. Let's see if we can get, let's see if we can get a profit here. And that was kind of the problem here. First of all, I should have never been in the trade. And second of all, I should have got out of the trade right away when there was an issue. The next thing is like, I was trying to make a profit when really in this situation, the best thing would have been to just like cut my losses. And it actually kind of rallies back up. So like I'm down, kind of does this thing. It's going lower here, and then it rallies up here to up over 850. It just, sure, I take a little bit of a loss, and that's the kind of thing that's kind of tricking me and thinking that it was going to go back up. Like I thought it's going up here, comes here, kind of tries to retest, doesn't continue. I'm like, oh, maybe it'll do it again, and then it drops right here. I don't get out. I'm thinking, well. It comes down and just immediately off this bottom, some people start buying the dip. It comes off the dip that way. And I'm like, okay, maybe we got something here. And then I started dropping my support levels. I go down to this level right here. I forget exactly where this is. We'll call it 750. And it goes sideways. And as soon as I see this dipping down underneath whatever number I set here, I got out. So, back in the day, I would have probably rode this all the way down and lost a crap ton of money on the way down. But I'm happy I got out. This is not a good trade, folks. Don't copy my trades for sure. This was a hard one because I had multiple times to get out where I was close to breaking even or like down like $20, and I chose to hold on to it too long. And I'm not good in these zones. I'm not good in continuation. I'm definitely not good when the move is running flat. I'm certainly not good on the backside of moves. I didn't trade to my strength, and never am I in for. I should have never been in for 30 minutes. That's just not how I play the game. Anyway, a good example of what not to do. But again, I wasn't frustrated. Sorry, I was disappointed. But just like the other day, I'm like, you know what? I have more buying power, and I'll pick a stock that I know could like at least get like a 5 cent or 10 cent base hit, and I can kind of dig out of this a little bit. I don't really know if that's the proper way of thinking. Yeah, maybe I should. I almost walked away, but just calm, cool, collective. It didn't. No, not a big deal. Like, if I make a mistake, I don't know. Just you can see I'm going through a lot in my brain. So that's that. That's the trade. Shouldn't have been in it. And we're just gonna stay on the stock for a second because it does come up and test VWAP right here. Now the issue is that VWAP is this yellow line, volume weighted average price, and it's a very respected indicator. And a lot of times the stocks will, when it breaks VWAP, VWAP could be like my last line of defense right here. So I got out right here, so I'll just show you guys real quick. So there's this, I have this set up to where the gray line, you see this gray line is my 9 EMA, my blue line is my 20 EMA, and then my yellow line is VWAP. And those can be used as support and resistance. In the way that I'm kind of trading, it's like usually support. And so this is not a great thing. So once the 9 EMA crosses underneath this 20 EMA, like we're not in a good spot. And then when they both cross underneath the VWAP, we're on a downward trend here. But your last line of defense, at least in my mind, is that VWAP right there. If I decided I was going to hold it a little bit longer, it's like, does it get a bounce off VWAP and continue to go up, or does it bust through it? But like, those are kind of like my lines of defense. 9, 20, as long as I don't get in too high, which I did, then you have the 9 EMA, the 20 EMA, and the VWAP here as your kind of, if you want to use those indicators. There's other indicators too. Those are not just the only thing. Like, I did mark off a line here for support down here, as those 5 candles were kind of showing support down there. A few other things as well. But anyway, those are what those indicators are for. But VWAP, a lot of times things will come up and they'll test this. Like right here, you can see it's starting to climb, like right here, gets rejected. It climbs up right here, almost touches VWAP, comes back down. And I'm watching this. It does it right here with some good volume. You see volume starting to pick up right in the zone. And I almost got in here. I didn't because I'm scared, because I don't want to lose more money again on this thing. And I'm not great at things outside of what I know. So this thing comes up, it gets a nice little pullback, you get this here, and the next candle forms, it just bursted through VWAP. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because VWAP, is something I've been studying, and I did want to take the trade here because something I like about, as opposed to like just curls without a VWAP, like a lot of curls are just going back to like the high of day or the high of where the curl started, but for me, VWAP is such a strong indicator that it's something that I feel like I can personally rally around on continuation trades. So like after the first pop, maybe I got it, made some money, and it's curling back around, and then it goes to retest a VWAP. At least with VWAP, I know like, okay, I'm going to hit the buy signal here, and if it doesn't bust through VWAP like it did right here, I'm out. Like if it goes up there, taps it, and rejects, I'm out. If it busts through it, I'm out for a profit. So it's like one of those moments where I'm like, the only unfortunate thing is that here, right, where it's kind of getting close to it. It's not quite close enough, but it's where it kind of climbs here. Well, what if I would have got in right here? I'd like to be in there a little bit closer to VWAP, but let's say I got in here and then the candle turned red and rejected. Probably would have got out there. And then it went up without me. But you could just, if you were on a non-cash account or you had buying, you just re-enter. So you get up here and it doesn't work. It starts to reject. You get out and you're still watching, and then you see this green candle form, the next green candle form. You get back in. So kind of like making some moves around VWAP where you don't take a huge loss. You just get out if it doesn't work and re-enter if you got out on like a little pullback accidentally and it rips back up. Anyway, VWAP is something you guys are going to start seeing me trade more often as I get some more practice in and really get a good understanding of how I want to use it and like how close I want to be to it and like what I'm seeing on the tape. I'm going to start using that as an indicator. So also this thing at the bell, I almost did this too. This whole business is about shoulda, woulda, coulda. At the bell, this thing opens, and I think it actually comes down and turns red, and I just didn't really think like anything was going to happen. And then by the way, I didn't have I have buying power left still, but not very much. Not enough where I want to take the risk. And it just shoots up. It halts once. I think it halts twice. I can't remember how many halts it halted. I think it did 2 halts up. It did 2 halts up, and then it halted to the downside, and then rallied back up, and then we get this massive little downturn there with a bunch of halts, with a couple halts. But this was a pretty awesome little move. I mean, it goes from under $7, we'll call it $6.75, all the way up to $10 in 5 minutes. And that's so these first 5-10 minutes of the market being open where you have these halts is also another thing. That's like after I'm really comfortable with VWAP, I'm going to start. This is an area where I would like to take advantage of, especially when I have buying power, like margin account buying power, not cash account where I'm capped. Because usually by the time this happens, I have no buying power. It would have been nice to be able to recognize this and get in, because I was watching this entire thing, and make some of this money back that I lost, I don't know. Anyway, don't trade that. CPI. So this is another change they made on these stocks. I used to not be able to, like right now I haven't clicked in here where I would normally click. I'm just on the chart. Now I can just type in, if I want to, CPIX and hit enter. That is a new change. That's something that I love. So this stock hits the scanner, and let's see. I can't explain why my volume bars are doing this. This is not what the volume looks like. I will work. Is it on? Oh, there we go. Got it. That explains it. So I saw this very early on the charts because it gapped up. So if you look right here, it just goes from whatever this is, 350 up to what is that? The low is 386. Goes up. It just gapped up 30 cents. So it was like boom, just hits the chart. Doesn't go like bling 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 bling. I just hear like a little ding. I'm like, oh, what's that? I go look at it. I look at the news. Let me see what the news was. It was this 5 o'clock? What time was this? Oh yeah, right here. The news was Cumberland Pharmaceuticals announces a strategic transaction to integrated commercial business. No, that wasn't it. What's the date today? The 23rd? Hold on a sec. Let's pull this up in here. CPIX. Yeah. Cumberland to sell branded drugs. Huh. some pharmaceutical news. We'll just call it that. Had some news, but I didn't really like this action right here, right? So I didn't think I was going to get in on this stock, but I'm like, if I have a moment, it was right before the bell rang, right? So this is 9 o'clock. So we have like 30 minutes basically before the bell rings. And if I'm going to get in something, I got to get out. I want to be in there when the bell rings. And so this opens and pulls back, and then this candle goes red, and then my entry would be like the next candle to make a new high. This one didn't make a new high, but there was a lot of buy volume in here. And then as far as like on the tape, there was a lot of green in there. The volume profile is fine, but then, this candle opens up, it's red, doesn't really go above, and then this candle opens up and kind of cracks it right here, and let's see where I went in. I went in the first time I went in was at 9:11. So let's see here. Is that right? Yeah, 9:11 and then 9:21. So I didn't get in until right here. And man, what did I get in at? 5. Yeah, I got in here. So I just didn't really like this action right here. It wasn't moving very much. And then my thought process here was like, okay, if this candle can break over here, maybe I'll go. It just kind of bounces up, bounces back, bounces up, bounces back. And I'm like, this is just not looking good. And then I saw this candle right here. This green candle comes up and forms. I'm like, okay, if this next candle opens, it opened. I didn't get in. I wish I would have gotten right there and popped that up to 550. I think that would have been like a 40-cent little win right there. But that gave me the confidence that maybe there was something else going on in the stock. Now, technically, if I've been doing this a little while to where like I got in and got out fast because I could have easily not made money on this stock. So this candle opens and it goes over here, and I got in right there and took a little profit. I got in at 557, got out at 568, and then 576. Then I went in again at 21. So right here. Yeah. And what was my price on that? My price was 578, which is, right in the zone. So, after that, we get this little pullback right here. And I'm just watching the stock, seeing what it does. And then we start to see this little kind of creep up right in here. And I'm thinking it's going to go one of two ways. People are going to sell off before the bell, or maybe they're going to buy a little bit before the bell. So I'm watching. This opens. It goes above here with some good action on the tape. I got in just above that. 578, got out at 589 and 596. Now, it ripped up a little higher, actually. It went a little higher than I thought it was going to go. It went over $6. So I left a little bit on the table there. And then it just, and then it went downhill, and then I was looking for something else when the market opened. But so that's the trade I made there. I'm generally speaking happy with those trades. I mean, it's much different trades, right? So in CPIX, I was in for the first trade. I was in for, let's see, got it at 9:11:35. I was in for 30 seconds, and then the second trade I took, I was in for 7 seconds. It's much different than like 20 minutes or whatever it was I was in on the first trade, because there's no reason for me to be in on a trade for 20 minutes. It should have already worked by then. So that's that. Let's go to the data. The data, unfortunately, if you look on that far right-hand side, we came out of our drawdown, and since that day, I have lost, I don't know, I feel like it's like $500. I forget the math, which is really unfortunate. And so we've got a profit of $1,381, and we've participated in 67 trade days, 107 winners, and a win rate of 67%. But these losers have to be better. There's no reason why I need to be in at 865 and out at 740. What are we doing? So really just kind of soul searching. I love how this is going, but I really have to stick to what I know. And I would rather lose on entries and setups that I'm confident in, and it just didn't work, than go in on something willy-nilly, kind of half-ass because it's a continuation trade and I'm trying to make a quick buck at 7 o'clock, at 4 o'clock in the morning. So tomorrow, I'm not going to be timid, but I am going to I'm going to let the market come to me. And I'm going to, if we got breaking news on a low float stock and I don't see, a bunch of spoof, big sellers on the ask. I'm going to look for an entry, try to get in, try to get out, kind of just what I did with CPIX. Hopefully it's a little bit smoother than that one. And just chip our way back at it and stay away from some of the stuff that I'm not supposed to be doing. And really just hone that in. Because if you look back at kind of the history of what's going on here on this channel, like, it's pretty clear to me where I win. And it's clear to me, becoming more and more clear, where I lose. And where I lose is when I step out of my kind of goals for this challenge, which is small cap, low float, breaking news, getting in on the first, second, and maybe first or second leg up with a little micro pullbacks. You might only have 1 to 2 to 3 minutes tops of being able to get any kind of action in there and taking base hits along the way, not holding too long. I should never be in a trade for 20 or 30 minutes on this account. Anyway, I do want to show you guys real quick the video of the charts. I have a quick video that someone sent that has the day trade dash chart, this newly updated chart watchers chart. It also has the charts that are included in Dash Trader, and I'll just throw this up real quick so anyone can see this. Downloads for anyone who might be interested to see the difference. And it might not seem like a big deal, but I was kind of like, okay, sure, it's legit. So I did not make this video. This is from someone else. Let me plug them real quick because that's what I like to do. That let me pull up the Discord real fast. Discord. And we switch the camera to main, and let's slow this down. We're going to take this, and I'm going to slow this down to like half speed. And let me pull this up on Discord. Chart Watcher has a really nice Discord, by the way. GODDAS is the one who sent this. Thank you very much, bud, because this has been very helpful today. So this chart right here, the first one right here is Day Trade Dash. That's the Warrior Trading software. This middle one is the charts, the newly updated charts from here at Charts Watcher. And this is the one that comes from Dash Trader. Now, I can tell you right now, Dash Trader chart is a fraction faster. You have to really look at this. But I don't use those charts, and a lot of people don't either. But they can be a little bit clunky. I haven't even tried. I've heard that from someone else. I haven't even tried their charts, so I don't want to talk out of place. But so all you're kind of scanning for is, like, it's pretty easy. These boxes, you don't have to look at the numbers. You can just look at the box. If it goes up, you'll start to see this go up and down before this one goes up and down, and then you can kind of just use your peripheral vision to kind of see what's going on here. But you will see this right away. And I'm going to slow it down even more because I think it's easy to, let's do this. So you'll see this middle one will move first, down, then this down, up, up, right? So right here, it's going to do it again. Come on. Up. Oh, there's down. You can see it. You can see that it's moving faster. Like it's not that much faster, but it is faster. 88. 87, then now 87. So you can see it kind of blinking up, and then this one kicks in. It's definitely a difference. It's interesting to me that these charts are a little bit faster. Now, I don't think this will make or break most things because, like I use the chart to be able to see when I want the candle to go over the next candle, over the previous candle before I enter. And so if it's a tad bit behind, it's not a huge deal. It means that it already went over a little bit sooner than what I'm seeing. But I don't know. You can see that it's faster. It's at 1491 right here. Then this one went to 1491. Let's see. 85, 85. So it's now, and you got to remember here, the speed here is at a quarter. We'll call it a quarter of a second. I have no idea how. It's just a quarter of whatever the normal time is. But in real speed, I'll let you see it at real speed. Like, this isn't that different. But, if you're looking for that slight edge, then yeah, it's a little bit quicker. Kind of interesting. Okay, thank you guys for following along. And, man, we'll get after it again next week. If you have not taken a look at the stock, tomorrow, CAR, and then today was SKILZ, Skills. Those are good examples of stocks that have been squeezed. And Skills, car is a really good example of what can happen after a stock gets squeezed for a long time, is it's being, I'm assuming, pretty shorted pretty heavily. But if you're ever interested in like what can actually happen in the marketplace, like in like ways that can, if you're in, can change your life financially for a long time, go take a look at those two stocks, CAR and SKILZ, Skills. CAR has been over the course of a couple days, and then Skills was just today. So anyway, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.